Imagine two people with the exact same skills. Both quit their jobs to chase their dream business. On paper, they're identical, but there is one critical difference. Person one believes with the entire fiber of his being that he can succeed. He is beginning to succeed, and with enough effort, he can succeed. He puts the work in, he's going to succeed. It's a done deal. While on the other hand, we have person two, who is fueled by negative emotion, anxiety, ruled by self-doubt, constantly questioning his own ability, whether or not he can actually make this work. If he's the type of person that can even make this work, questioning himself down to the identity level, and his thoughts whether or not he can succeed is maybe, possibly, I could, might, but if I fail, I can do X. He's already planned for the failure. Yeah, it's kind of obvious who's going to succeed, isn't it? It's obviously person one. Despite having the same exact skill sets, person one is going to crush person two every single time. And that's often the difference between the millionaire and the failure who returns back to their mediocre existence. It's the unwavering belief in their own ability to get shit done. They believe they can actually accomplish it. And in this video, I'm going to give you foundational knowledge on belief systems, the subconscious mind, and your thoughts, with some actionable advice so you can begin changing how you think and you can slowly start becoming that more successful person. The foundational knowledge of everything is belief systems. Whether or not you believe something is true, is positive, it's negative, or your entire belief surrounding a single domain, that is a belief system. And I need to tell this to you. It is very important, and I need you to understand this concept. This will change your life. Now, please listen up. Here's a belief system analogy that I think works really well. I'm going to pop an image up on the screen now. There's a beam in the middle. On one hand, there's a red bucket. On the other hand, there's a green bucket. With each experience we have, water goes into one or the other bucket. Any experience we have around any domain, okay, I'll back up a little bit. So we have thousands, hundreds of millions of beliefs around each specific domain. So we have beliefs surrounding whether or not we like tomatoes, or our political stance, or our self-image, and whether or not we think we're capable or not. We have belief systems around everything. We have tiny belief systems from everything small to big. And when we have experiences, that determines whether or not we see that small domain as positive or negative. And when you have a negative experience regarding a certain domain, you will tip water into that red bucket, and then your belief around that certain thing will be more negative. Like, for example, if you try to draw, you think you suck at it, you get someone else, you get feedback saying, oh, you're pretty shit at it, don't try it, don't ever do it again. You get advice like that from someone, you're going to get a bunch of water in the negative bucket, and you're more likely to not want to do it in the future, and your entire thought process around drawing is going to be awful. It's like if in the past you tried to do something, you failed, now you believe, now you've poured water into that red bucket, that you're the type of person that fails. And it works vice versa. You succeed at something small, water gets put into the green bucket. You get a little bit of positive feedback. Oh, that was a good drawing actually, you should keep doing that. You might become a world-class drawer when you grow up. You're going to get a lot of water placed in the green bucket. Okay, but how are they really formed? I just sort of explained it to you, but I'll explain it a bit better now. And I know this is an intangible topic that is hard to explain, so I'm just going to try to give you a few examples so you can actually wrap your head around it. I learnt all this from Charlie Morgan. He's who made this little diagram here anyway. And I would highly recommend watching him if you're interested in building a business as well. Great resource for that. Belief systems are formed through the information and the experiences we have and receive when we are a child. I mean, of course, we can still make new belief systems now, but it's ingrained in us, and a lot of what we think is formed from childhood. So, for example, you believe you're shit at math. You probably had, this is an example, it's not true, of course, but bear with me. Say you're 7 years old, you're in the classroom, your teachers asked you to go up to the whiteboard and solve a math equation. And then say, you can't solve the math equation, everyone's staring at you. The teacher says, go sit down, you're stupid, you will never be able to solve math. Again, unlikely, but just bear with me. And then everyone's laughing at you, your entire class is laughing at you, your teacher just told you you're shit at math. Your poor brain is just going to readily accept all that information and then form an entire new identity around that. Because that emotion that you're going to feel is so powerful. That's what a belief system is formed through. It's formed through experience, plus a feeling equals a belief system. Because that feeling that you would feel an authority has just told you off, made fun of you, and then your entire peers, your social group has just laughed at you. Your belief around solving math is going to be skewed completely. That negative, the red bucket for math is just going to be overflowing at that point. And that's just a big example, but that's going to happen in all aspects of your life. You're going to find an origin point for everything. There will be an experience you'll find for literally every belief that you've ever had. Again, you can't obviously find them because your memory isn't perfect, but you will be able to remember some examples for some different belief systems. Like, again, the information we input and what we see around us makes our belief system. I made a good video on this topic in this video here. Go check it out. Delves into more detail in how the information we consume shapes who we are. Here's another example. So growing up, you see your parents struggling with money. Money is scarce. That's what you're constantly told. Save money. Money is scarce. There's no money around the house, and money's always hard to come by. And growing up, that was your reality. That's what you believe. How do you think you're going to act when you're older? You're going to act in the exact same manner, and it's going to be completely different from, say, a king, for example, or a prince, who growing up knew all the comforts that he can possibly imagine. And these belief systems completely shape who you are, the way you see yourself and the way you see reality. And the biggest thing that I learned from all this is that you cannot act out of alignment with what you believe to be true. Let me repeat that. You cannot act out of alignment with what you perceive and believe to be true. And that's because you literally view the world in this way. You perceive it as true. So reality can't work in any other way aside from that. Here's an interesting little story about how the body and the brain receives and processes information. You're in the desert and you see a snake that's right next to you. You become terrified because there's a snake and you're about to get bitten, of course. Your body sends signals and you're in fight or flight mode. But then, again, the feelings you feel right now, they're real. You're in fight or flight mode. The adrenaline's pumping, your body's going. But then you look at this snake a bit closer and it's actually a rope. And your body just returns back to normal. There is no snake, but your body and the way you felt, that was real. But there was no actual threat. That's how your perception changes things. Your perception of stuff matters far more than you realize. Like, if you view beautiful women as abundant, there are so many beautiful women, you're not going to act out of scarcity. But if all you've ever seen is there's like one beautiful woman in your entire like area, you're going to be acting with this scarcity mindset. You're going to be needy and demanding because there's only one. It's scarce. It's a scarce resource. While if there's hundreds of thousands, you're not acting in scarcity anymore. It's literally how you perceive things. If you believe, because I remember with me, I used to believe that there's only one girl that's worthy of being a girlfriend. That's the one girl at work, because you only ever meet one girl. But if you start going out to new places, meeting new girls, meeting new people, what a surprise. You're going to see, there's actually a lot of options. But in the beginning, you didn't perceive there to be many options because your entire worldview was narrowed down to the one girl at your work. But if you go out more, your worldview, there's a bunch of attractive girls that are all potential mates for you. It's how you view shit that matters. But if you stay in your house all day, wow, you're not meeting new people. You have the narrow view of your work and whatever the hell else you do, which is usually just work and home. So if you only see one beautiful girl at work, there's only one beautiful girl in the world. And then you act out of scarcity, and that's just a poor mindset to have, because that isn't how reality is. But it's how you perceive reality to be. Like, here's another one. If you truly believe and see yourself as a failure or as someone who's not capable of receiving love, how are you going to act when you get into a relationship? You're going to self-sabotage the fuck out of that. Because you're not capable of being loved, so how is this going to work? It's not. I'm going to self-sabotage now because you cannot act out of alignment with what you perceive to be true, with your beliefs. You believe that you're not capable of love? Well, you can't act out of alignment with it. So now you have to make that a reality where you can't be loved. Another example. You truly believe that you're a shy, not sociable person. Can't act out of alignment with that. So you're going to go to a party, you're going to be shy and social, you're going to reinforce that belief, and you're going to continue to do that. You're not going to talk to people. And since this is so ingrained in you, belief systems actually do require a lot of work to undo and become actually aware of. I'm going to make a full guide for this in the future, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I want you to keep this foundational information about belief systems locked away in your head, and I want you to keep that in your mind when interacting with everything from now on. Also, if you've watched this far into the video, I can tell that you're the type of person that would want to take his mental health seriously. I have a full course on this down in the description. I reckon you'll love it. Check it out. Anyway, back to the video. Then there is the subconscious mind and how you constantly reinforce negative beliefs. Your thoughts and the statements you say, they reinforce negative beliefs, and you need to be aware of them. Your words, your thoughts, and the statements you say shape your reality, is an analogy for you. Your conscious mind is the director, and your subconscious mind is a little worker that has no free will of his own. He just does exactly what the director tells him to do, basically. So when that director orders the worker to produce negativity, the worker produces negativity without question, and that's exactly what he does. The conscious mind, if you send your little worker, your subconscious mind, negative thoughts, negative statement, the little worker, he produces more negative feelings. So when you feel anxiety and stuff and negative emotions like that, that's your subconscious mind sending signals to you. That's the worker saying, oh, I've received signals from the director that I need to make negativity right now. Okay, let's make negativity because I don't have a mind of my own. And then that little worker produces the negative feelings that you have. Basically, if your conscious mind sends negativity down to your subconscious mind, conscious mind accepts it and sends it outwards to your body. If you send positivity down, guess what's going to happen? Conscious mind accepts it and sends that into the body. Like, the conscious mind is your rational thinking brain, while the subconscious is your emotional, not logical part of your brain. And these two work in tandem to do and create everything. And I need you to realize this one thing. The subconscious mind can be suggested very easily. It accepts all suggestions from the conscious mind, your brain, your director, your logical brain, without thinking. The subconscious mind doesn't have a mind of its own. It accepts everything you send it. Here's a little story that happened at the gym recently. So I was at the gym pushing bench press. Was near failure, and I didn't think I had 2 reps. I didn't think I had another rep in me. I told myself in my brain, my inner dialogue was just like, I'm not gonna get another rep. This is pointless. This is stupid. I'm not gonna get this. I can't. And then I instantly caught myself out doing that. Told myself to shut the fuck up. Shut up. And then I ordered the little me to shut up. In my brain, the little me is the subconscious and my body. Because with your conscious mind, you can tell your little subconscious mind what the fuck to do. So I ordered my little me to shut up and do the rep. The self-doubt quenched, and then I just did the rep. And then afterwards, I managed to smash out 2 more reps because I wasn't limited by my own mind anymore. I ordered the little me to shut up. And that's as simple as it can be sometimes. It's actually stupid how that works when you really think about it, but if it works, it fucking works, alright? Like, okay, but more importantly, so many people do this in all aspects of their lives. When someone says, I can't do X, I'm not the type of person that can do Y. I've just never been good at X. How many times do you hear people or yourself say that about their own abilities regarding anything? Oh, I'm just not sociable. I don't like people. Like, how many people say to themselves, I'm not sociable. I'm just not the type of person that's ever been interested in. How many times do you hear people say shit like that? Or in your own inner dialogue? And that right there, that is the problem. When you tell yourself you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it. You can't act out of alignment with what you believe to be true. Remember that. If you send signals down to your subconscious mind, Whereas you cannot succeed, I can't, you're not going to fucking succeed. So stop telling yourself, I can't succeed, I'm not capable of X. Because then you really won't be capable of X. So stop fucking telling yourself you can't. That is half the problem. Okay, action step now. I want you to develop a bit of awareness in yourself. Whenever you use absolute statements such as I am, I need you to instantly call yourself out on it and stop yourself. You need to be more aware of when you do that. And sorry, for the action step, I want you to think about the last time you limited yourself. The last time you said to yourself, I can't do X. Or just when you're in conversation and you notice yourself doing that, note that down in your brain and don't do it again. You need to be more aware of these things. Last analogy. Who do you think life is going to like? The guy who constantly says out loud, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's constantly riddled by negative emotion, doubt, feelings of inadequacy, or the guy who has a strong self-belief, thinks he can try and do anything given enough time, and he sees problems as something to work towards, work over, and that he can achieve. And that, with enough time, he can fucking do it. It's obvious which type of person is going to enjoy life more and get more success out of it. So, to change reality, you have to change your thoughts, your belief systems, and your self-image. I want you to genuinely believe that you can succeed, you are the type of person who will succeed, you are currently succeeding, you're becoming the person who can succeed. You need to think these thoughts about yourself instead of the normal self-doubt you have about yourself. And yes, I know there's been a lot of not tangible work that you can do in this video, but it's all foundational knowledge that you really do need to have. But if you are actually serious about taking action, again, that course I mentioned before is fully action-based, designed to completely fix your mental health, your habitual automatic responses, and your self-image, whilst removing negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and all of that. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, I want you to take away two things. That change is 100% possible, you can change, you're not stuck, and you can change those beliefs. And guess what the second thing I'm about to say is? You cannot act out of alignment with what you perceive to be true. TLDR, your beliefs and your thoughts surrounding the world make the reality that you exist in. And if you believe you can't do it, you're not going to do it. So believe you can. And yeah, if you want to learn more about why men are unhappy, video here, it's a banger. Anyway, that's it for the video. Take care and bye.